Hi, this is DOSBox Mom, and welcome to Let's Play Death Knights of Krynn. Yeah, we're at the DOSBox screen, and I've got everything set up to start running, so let's start. Come on. There we go. And I've already got it configured with the sound and graphics I want. Yeah. This was published in 1991, I believe, by SSI. The Wizardworks CD-ROM that this was installed from was subsequently published in 1994. Yeah. Matt Barton, the Nat Chat series, recently interviewed a fat man. He's also currently interviewing one of the guys that did the music for Pool Brady's, but that's another story. Death Knights of Krynn is the second game in the Dragonlance series of gold box computer role-playing games based on the first edition AD&D rules. And we'll play through the demo at least once, so you can see that. Even after defeating Myrtani and putting an end to the draconian threat, evil still lurks in Krynn. Your daring group of adventurers now face a far greater danger, the threat of the dreaded Lord Soth and his growing undead army plotting to destroy all that is good in Krynn. Explore cities. Find rare and magical treasures. You notice even in the demo that there is more music in this game than there was in the previous game. And you'll be seeing this cutscene shortly. Lord Soth has the power to turn even the closest of your friends into deadly opponents. Evil is everywhere and strikes with little warning. But our demo characters are not going to be fighting this dragon. The Dreadwolf lurks around every corner. So the battle in the demo will be against the Dreadwolf and some other people. And actually the results of the demo battle are kind of random. Sometimes everybody survives, sometimes everybody dies. Notice one of the demo characters is a cleric and is turning undead. Turning undead is going to be very important in this game, as you might guess by the title. Death Knights. Yeah, these AI-controlled demo characters don't always make the wisest choices. Yeah. And the combat sound effects are pretty much the same as what we heard in Champions of Krynn. But besides the music during the introductory titles, there's little musical themes that introduce things like cutscenes, important combats, important enemies such as the Dreadwolf. And you'll remember this lady from the previous game. Protect the beauty and magic that still exist in Krynn. That's Sir Karl's old girlfriend. The Death Knights await, so go forward against this new threat and defeat the Death Knights of Krynn. Okay, so we're back to the title screen, and we're just going to hit escape a few times, press play, and now we're at the main menu. We can create new character, add character to party, load save game. Yeah, get a mouse or a joystick setup, or exit to DOS. Now, if you have a party that's gone through all of Champions of Krynn, you can load a save game from Champions. I don't want to load a save game from Death Knights of Krynn because I have previously played through the entire game. Okay, so we're going to load save game A, I think. And yes, you'll recall I was on a Game of Thrones kick when I named these people. Now, there is one new character class available in Death Knights of Krynn. The Paladin, which fighter type, can turn undead like clerics, can heal kind of like clerics. Possibly might be able to lead NPCs in battle like knights, although I'm not absolutely sure about that. We'll find out when we get into a battle. The only problem with paladins is that you have to create them from scratch in this game. In the training hall menu, in order to make room for the knight change order option, they had to take out human change class, so it's impossible for human characters to dual class, which is why I created one character who I was prepared to discard when I got to this game. Yes, you might remember from the HBO series, this fellow gets killed off in the first season. Yeah, Eddard, our fighter, our second fighter. He does have some gear, though, which we are going to distribute among the other characters right after we unequip everything. I think we'll start with the magical stuff, since that's the most important to hang on to. And let's see, I think Danny is our white robe mage and cleric of good. Just a minute, please. Okay, and we're back. Traded away all of Eddard's stuff to other people. Well, except for his money. Now we need to trade his... Now we need to trade all his money. Okay, now, actually, we should probably not have Rob have money, because as a Knight of the Rose, he'd be obliged to give it all away. There we go. Now, we're going to... We could drop Eddard, or we could just remove Eddard from the party. Removing him from the party allows us to bring him back later if we really want to. Okay, so we've done that. Now we need to create a new character. So this is your big chance. If you didn't watch the character creation process when I was doing Champions of Krynn, you can see it now. Now, I believe it might be possible for more than just humans to be paladins, although I'm not absolutely sure about that. But I know that humans are the only ones that, if other races are allowed to become paladins, humans are the only ones who have no level cap. I'm really quickly flipping to the back of the Adventurer's Journal. Yeah, basically humans and half-elves, I think. Or maybe it's... could be humans and Sylvan SD elves. And mountain dwarves. But humans are the only ones that have unlimited advancement, so we're going to make our paladin a human. If I went with male, he'd be able to be a bit stronger, but I prefer female paladins. If you watch my Let's Play of Curse of the Azure Bonds, you might remember the female paladin I picked then, and if you're up in your fantasy literature, you'll know which fantasy novels I got that character from. So we're going to go female human, paladin. So paladin has to be lawful good. And don't worry about what the stats are on a newly created character. You can always, do modify character later on, as long as you do it before they start adventuring. And keeping with the Game of Thrones theme, I need a female fighter type. Yeah. Might remember her from Clash of Kings. Okay. I'm going to pause the recording again while I tinker with her combat icon, because that's probably the most tedious part in all of character creation. So we'll be back in a little bit. And we're back. I think we're pretty much done generating Brienne's combat icon. And save her. Then we're going to add character to party from Death Knights of Krynn. We're going to add Brienne. And let's take a look at what they give her. Yeah. So if you created the entire party from scratch, they'd get a magical weapon maybe, but non-magical other gear. So if you've got stuff that you brought from the previous game, definitely use that. Okay. It's probably not that essential to keep multiple melee weapons because there are no boss draconians that cause your stuff to get stuck. Okay. Now, just going to finish trading stuff back to Brienne, so I'm going to do this off camera, and we'll come back in a bit when we're ready to start adventuring. Okay, we're back. We've finished trading equipment to Brienne. She's equipped. And I think we're ready to save the current game and begin adventuring. And as usual, we have the copy protection question. Fifth word of journal entry 23. And I guess we'll see if the headings count. They do. A year has passed since Myrtani was defeated in the ruins of Krynn. The survivors of that campaign have been called together to celebrate and to remember fallen comrades. You meet outside of the Gargath outpost. During the year, the knights have used the equipment you donated to restore the peace. Now, it was kind of confiscated from us at the end of the game. The trip to the Gargath outpost was uneventful. You arrived the night before the celebration. Do you wish to rest? Yes, it would be a very good idea to rest. This is your big opportunity to memorize spells before starting the game. And probably alter the party's marching order. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I think we'll keep Rob in front. Then probably we'll put Brienne next to him. Then John. Maybe Arya before Dany and Viserys. I might switch those around some more eventually, but this should work right now. And notice you can alter the speed. Apparently it's on the fastest setting. We'll see how it goes. If it's too fast, we can always slow it down. And looks like we can change people's icons if we want. Yeah, which is useful if you find that two of your characters have combat icons that look too similar. You can change the level, and we're going to leave it on the default veteran level. Because at least for Goldbach games, DOSBox Mom is usually not a wuss. Okay, but now, magic. Okay. Wow. Wonder if they... Does he already have spells memorized? Huh. It looks like if you had spells memorized at the end of the previous game, they're keeping them. Huh. Okay. Well, rather than change those up, I think we'll go with them for now. And oh yeah, like yes, they do have their spells memorized that they had from the previous game, which is something I hadn't seen before. Okay, well in that case, we'll just save and exit. The beautiful Lady Maya stands and gives an eulogy for Sir Karl. His bravery helped the heroes gathered here to overcome the massive forces of evil. If he were alive today, I'm sure that he would be very proud. A fat knight whispers to you, "She's amazingly beautiful for a silver dragon. Don't you know that Sir Karl was in love with her? She's now one of the deadliest hunters of evil in the lands." The festival continues into the early evening, while thunderheads gather in the west. Suddenly, small specks detach themselves in the black clouds. They grow rapidly larger until a huge death dragon, flanked by nightmares, sweeps toward the suddenly silent celebration. You note something familiar about the decaying leader atop the dragon. Maya screams in despair as she recognizes the gruesome remains of her ex-lover, who evidently didn't stay buried. Sir Karl brandishes his sword as his death dragon swoops toward the scattering crowd. As he comes close, the corpse of Sir Karl shouts, "You pathetic worms sicken me. In life I believed the pap about honor and virtue succeeding, but death has revealed the truth." "Oh no, Sir Karl, say it ain't so." "Catch these trophies for the first knights I've met." He tosses down a pile of armor and weapons. As you look up again, he's grabbed the dragon lance on display and is heading away. So, our dragon lance from the first game, yeah, he's got it. Wow. Maya streaks after him. Before you can follow, the nightmares have deposited their riders before you. Other knights rush to your aid. The battle is joined. Okay, Rob leads Solamnic Knight. Okay, so evidently Brienne doesn't get to. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Our first battle. Okay, we've got, let's see, at least 3 nightmares, and 4 nightmares, and 4 skeletal warriors. Okay. Well, let's try maybe. Oh, hang on. Switching to our magic arrows in hopes that they'll get through. And let's aim at the nightmare. And that didn't work. I don't know if Area can. It doesn't look like she can turn anyone. We'll have her try yelling. Nope, that doesn't seem to have any effect. And the Solamnic Knights don't have any missile weapons, so we're going to have to move them forward. And then, let's see. Let's see if Fireball works. Since this is outdoors. We need to remember the radius of the fireball is not that. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, it just affects the nightmares. And Brienne will switch to her magic arrows. You know, I think we're going to have to slow down the combat speed just a little bit so we can see the messages. Okay, and we'll move this knight forward. No, okay. Oh, I think I'm going to move John forward. Okay. And he's still going to have to switch to his magic arrows. Okay. Okay, let's try maybe magic missile. Okay. Oh, we don't want to attack our ally. Silly people. Okay. There we go. Then John can switch back to his melee weapon. I would note that... Ooh. Although the message at the beginning of combat just said, Rob leads Solamnic Knights. It looks like he leads multiple Solamnic Knights. Good question on whether these Solamnic Knights are even going to be able to hit the Skeletal Warriors. Speed. Yeah, let's go slower. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty heavily laden because we haven't had time to have her sell off her junk yet. Eh. It sounds like non-magical melee weapons do half damage against skeletal warriors. And they cannot be turned, which stinks. And we notice that Fireball seems to have no effect. I could look up in the SSI clue book to see if anything has an effect on skeletal warriors. Okay, should be able to use a staff sling here. Hello, Lost in Blue. Lost in Blue's been playing a fair amount of Dungeons & Dragons Online lately. And apparently quite enjoys it. Okay. Oh, this is going to be pretty tedious against those skeletal warriors. They are so bloody hard to hit. So this first episode is running a little bit longer than I would have liked. we do damage them eventually. It just takes a long, long time. You get to see this once. I think in future, if we get to battles where all we've got left are the Skeletal Warriors, I think I'll probably just will pause the recording and finish up the Skeletal Warriors bit off camera because it takes a bloody long time. Finally. Okay, it looks like we just have 2 of the Skeletal Warriors left. Yeah, we've got the Solamnic Knights all in melee range. It doesn't matter quite as much to have our characters in melee range. Yeah, that was a lot of damage that area did just now. I wonder if her strength stat is still modified from some artifact she had in the first game. There we go. This will end eventually. I suppose we can talk about other things while this is going on. Basically, I've got the printouts of the rulebook in Adventurer's Journal. I have the original documentation that came with the Wizardworks CD-ROM, so that got most of the copy protection answers, and oh crap, the PC data card. And the maps from the game. I've got the original SSI clue book, which I've saved ever since I bought it to play with the Commodore 64 version, over 20 years ago. And I have one other period walkthrough within the book Quest for Clues 4. I don't necessarily agree with all the advice in Quest for Clues 4, but they do have some useful suggestions on what spells to have memorized. And we did get area bandaged. We got 3,891 experience points, no treasure. With the enemy defeated, the knights gather what they can and retire to the outpost to regroup. Evil forces close in and lay siege. The outpost gates will soon be sealed against the invaders. You walk up to the main gate. You carry the hurt to the temple. Many are in agony. Help with healing? Will Rob cast Cure Light Wounds? You cast a spell. A young woman is healed. The outpost commander walks up. We thank you. After you rest, see me in my chamber. It's upstairs in the keep to the northeast. So at this point, we will end the episode. We'll rest, get area healed, and then go see the commandant of Gargath Outpost in the next episode. So we will see you then.